Hey guys, welcome to this wig life. I'm gonna be wearing wigs in my videos more often because I bought all these wigs and I haven't been wearing them, and my boyfriend was like, oh, why'd you buy all these wigs if you're not gonna wear them? And so I promised that I would wear them more often. So here it is. But that's not what this video is about. Okay, let's move on. Today I want to talk about 20 fun facts about Japan. Now there are way more fun facts than that, but I felt like this video would be like a million minutes long. So here are my top 20 facts about Japan. Number 1, the Japanese don't say Japan, they say Nippon or Nihon. And that's kind of hard to explain and it's super long and involved, so I'm gonna put a link into where I found all of my information. But basically the kanji for Nippon or Nihon is the sun and then the origin. So it basically means like the origin of the sun or the sun's origin. So it's like basically Nichi or Jitsu, which is super involved. But so when they put Jihon together, it might have sounded like two other people, Jihon or Jippon, which sounds like Japan. And all the translations in different dialects saying everything basically has made it so the rest of the world says Japan and people in Japan say Nihon or Nippon. That was number 1 super long explanation. Number 2, which this one blows my mind because I'm like, where are they all? But Japan is supposedly made up of over 6,800 islands. But seriously, where are they? Because it looks like Japan is made up of like 3 or 4, right? Right. Number 3, for all of you gluttons out there,
Japan has the largest amount of McDonald's outside of the US.
That's too many McDonald's, Japan. Number 4, continuing on with the food situation, the Japanese consume about 17 million tons of fish every year. That's a lot of seafood, okay? Okay. And number 5, another huge number, Japan has around 5.5 million vending machines. Dang. And when you go to Japan, or if you live there, you will notice how many vending machines there are. I swear they're like on every corner. But it's super convenient and it's super cool and something that's very iconically Japan. And then number 6, back in ancient times, ohaguro was the practice of actually blackening the teeth for women because white teeth were not seen as attractive. What? And number 7, you know how Japan has this crazy Kit Kat culture? Well, the reason for that is because it sounds similar to kitto katsu, which means you are sure to do well. And so it's often something that people are given during tests or exams or something critical in their lives that they need to pass. And number 8, this is something that we recognized the 2 times we were there because we were there around Christmas time. But the typical Christmas dinner is KFC, folks. Who would have thought? And it's funny because you could actually pre-order your KFC dinner and it's like this huge chicken and all the dressings and the size and everything goes to it, but it's kind of interesting because in the US it's kind of like turkey or it's like this whole homemade food situation, but in Japan it's all about that KFC. Number 9, the largest Japanese population outside of Japan is actually in Brazil, and I'm not sure on the history of that, so I'll link that in the description box below. Number 10, Hello Kitty was created in 1974 and has since grown into a worldwide sensation. I mean, you see that girl everywhere, and she has a lot more friends now with the Sanrio Club, and so that's quite a huge significant triumph for Hello Kitty's creator. Number 11, I think a lot of us know this, but it's still a fun fact, that slurping noodles is totally acceptable and is considered polite, whereas in America or a lot of Western countries, slurping anything is not considered polite. So that's kind of interesting. Slurp your noodles, folks. Number 12, this is something that I found really interesting, is that the Japanese don't really like the number 4 because one of the ways to say 4 is shi, and shi is pronounced similar to the word death, and so it's a bad luck to have the number 4 in your phone number, in your address. Oftentimes they don't even have apartment numbers with the number 4 on it, and they also skip floors. Like, so it'll go from floor 3 to floor 5 because 4 is such bad luck. Number 13, this is really interesting. The first geisha were actually men because geisha actually meant performer or person of the arts. And then that translated later into the ladies because then the ladies became performers, and I mean, just watch Memoirs of a Geisha, it's a great movie. And number 14, that famous story of the statue Hachiko that you can find in front of Shibuya Station is there because supposedly this puppy or this doggy, he stayed there and waited for his master, who supposedly died at work, but he waited for his master for 10 years until his eventual death. That's so sweet, so heartwarming, and the people of Japan really appreciate that, and so they have erected that statue right outside of Shibuya Station. Okay, number 15. This is crazy, but Japanese people, they're well known for working really hard. So hard, in fact, that they actually have a term of working yourself to death, and that's called karoshi. Number 16. This is something I've talked about before, and I think almost everyone mentions it and appreciates that Japan's rail system / metro system is probably one of the most punctual rail systems in the world. It's amazing. They have, I think it was like 18-second delay is like their worst delay. People of New York are like, oh, I wish that was the story. Number 17 is the slipper game in Japan. It is real, folks, because in Japan, you go into someone's house, you take off your shoes, you put on the slippers. You even go into the bathroom and you have separate slippers that are just the bathroom slippers so that you're not contaminating the rest of the house. Even some restaurants and some, if you go into onsens and things like that, public places sometimes offer public slippers because they don't want you tracking dirt and crap into their places. Also, when you go into some dressing rooms, you also have to take off your shoes and put on these slippers. It's really interesting. It's all about the slippers in Japan. And number 18 is kind of a scary one because there is an average of 1,500 earthquakes per year in Japan. I think California also has a high number of earthquakes and you just don't always feel them. They happen, but you can't like register them on the Richter scale as high or on your body, like you don't shake that often. Oops, I made everything shake. But I think in Japan you can feel them a lot more often than you do here. But it seems like people aren't that worried about it. I guess because it happens so frequently, it's not like the scariest thing until it is the scariest thing, I guess. Number 19. Now, I think we totally need to adopt this in a way because it is totally acceptable to sleep on the job because it means you are working so freaking hard that you are exhausted from all of your hard work that you need to take a nap. I wish that my job allowed me to take a nap just in the middle of working, but I don't think I work as hard as the Japanese people, so yeah, it's a trade-off. And last but not least, black cats are considered a sign of good luck. Meow. Unlike in a lot of Western countries, black cats are considered evil and a bad luck omen. They're really cool there, so that's awesome. When you go to Japan, you can adopt a black kitty. Meow. Alright guys, I hope you found that interesting. I'm going to link my sources in the description box below, so be sure to check those out and find out even more fun facts about Japan. And let me know in the comments box below some of your favorite facts. And if you have any questions, don't forget to ask me because I'd love to answer them. And don't forget to subscribe and like and do all that fun stuff. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. Bye!